Have you ever just checked your bank account and thought, wait, where did all my money go? You swear you didn't buy anything major, but somehow those little purchases have added up again? Maybe it was a coffee here, a quick takeaway over there, or that online sale that was just way too good to pass up on. At the time, it didn't seem like much, but now your wallet is really feeling it. And then there's the classic scenario. You walk into a shop just to look around, and somehow you're walking out with bags full of things you never planned to buy. Or maybe you're just scrolling online and suddenly there's a package on the way that you barely remember ordering. Why does this keep happening? Why do I keep spending money on things I don't really need? And today we're going to be diving into the psychology behind it. So next time you find yourself reaching for something completely unnecessary, you'll know exactly what's happening and how to stop it. All right, so let's start with a question. When was the last time you bought something on impulse? Was it a coffee, a cute gadget, or something completely random? Studies show that over 50% of purchases are unplanned. Marketers know this and they use psychological tricks to encourage you to spend. Ever noticed how supermarkets put sweets, small gadgets, and low-priced items right by the checkout? That's called the last-minute temptation zone. By the time you are here, you've already made your big decisions and your brain is more likely to say, oh, what's one more thing? This is because you're already in a shopping mindset, so it makes it easier for you to convince yourself that you can afford that little extra item. And let's talk about dopamine, the feel-good chemical. Every time you see a flashy sales sign that says limited time offer, your brain releases a little dopamine. It's the same chemical linked to pleasure and addiction. So, impulse buying isn't about the thrill of getting something. It's literally giving your brain a little bit of happiness. It's the same feeling you get when you eat your favorite foods or check your social media notifications. The brain craves those rewards. But here's the catch. That happiness is short-lived. A study from the Journal of Consumer Research found that impulse buyers often feel regret within minutes or hours after their purchases. That initial thrill fades quickly and the reality of your spending kicks right in. Sound familiar? It's like that instant gratification doesn't last long enough to make the purchase feel worthwhile. And it's not just about advertising. Our emotions play a huge role in these spur-of-the-moment buys too. Ever had a bad day and decided to treat yourself to a little retail therapy? Shopping can temporarily distract us from stress or boredom, making it easier to justify unnecessary purchases. It's easy to tell yourself, I deserve this, or I need something to cheer me up. That post-shopping high wears off quickly, and suddenly you're wondering why you bought yet another pair of shoes you don't need. Our brains are wired to avoid regret, so we rush into buying things to avoid missing out on what seems like a rare opportunity, even if we don't actually need them. And online shopping? Even worse. With one-click purchases, personalized ads, buy now, pay later schemes, we're constantly being nudged to spend mindlessly. The barrier between desire and action is nearly gone when everything's a few taps away. You might be browsing a site and before you know it, there's a package on the way to you and you barely remember clicking buy. And don't get me started on free shipping thresholds. Oh, I only need £5 more to get free shipping. Might as well add something else to my cart. That seems like a small decision, but these can add up quickly. So, how do we fight back? Well, the trick is the 24-hour rule. If you see something you want to buy, instead, wait a full day. That urgency you felt, most of the time it will disappear. Marketers rely on impulse. You taking a step back throws off their entire strategy. But let's be honest, waiting doesn't always come naturally. That's where unsubscribing from marketing emails comes in. Think about it. Every time you open your inbox, you're hit with limited time deals and exclusive sales. But guess what? Those sales happen all the time. So if you don't see them, you won't feel pressure to buy. Out of sight, out of mind. And here's another simple but powerful strategy. Use cash instead of card. Ever notice how easy it is just to tap your card without thinking about it? It barely even feels real. But when you physically hand over cash, it hits completely differently. Studies show people actually spend less when using cash because they feel the loss. And let's be real, Handing over free £20 notes feels way more painful than just tapping your phone. Now, let's talk about shopping lists. Sounds simple, but making a list and actually sticking to it helps you keep focus. Ever just walked into a shop just for one thing and left with 10? Yeah, that's exactly what stores want. A list acts like a shield, helps you block out all those little extras that drain your money. But what if your impulse spending isn't happening in a shop? What if you're lying in bed scrolling? That's where you need to pause and ask yourself, do I really need this, or am I just bored or stressed? A lot of impulse buying isn't even about the item, it's about filling an emotional gap. Recognizing that in the moment, that's a game changer. And speaking of online shopping, here's a sneaky but effective trick. Delete your saved payment details. I know. Typing in your card number every time is annoying, but that's exactly the point. The more effort it takes to buy something, the more time you have to reconsider. Finally, if you want to see the damage impulse buying does, try tracking your impulse purchases for just 1 month. Every time you buy something on impulse, just type it down. Jot it down in your phone, on your notes app, or write it down on pen and paper, whatever helps. By the actual end of the month, you'll be shocked just how much those small purchases actually add up. Seeing that total in front of you, that motivates you to break the cycle. So, next time you're about to impulse buy, take a second and think to yourself, do I really need this, or is my brain just chasing that dopamine hit? Pause for a moment and reflect. Is this purchase going to add value to my life, or is it just fulfilling an emotional gap that will fade once the excitement wears off? It's easy to get swept up in the moment, but by becoming more mindful of these triggers, you can regain control over your spending habits. And remember, it's not about depriving yourself of things you enjoy. It's about being intentional with your money and making purchases that truly bring you joy or serve a real purpose. So, let me know in the comments down below, what was the worst impulse buy you ever made? I bet there's some funny stories out there. And if you found this video useful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and share this video out with anyone you think might need help curbing their impulse spending. Sharing is caring, right? I'll be sharing more tips and insight in future videos to help you stay on top of your budget and live a more mindful life. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.